Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every day. Yes, yes, go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in, and give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, that algorithm. It's dragging me, y'all. It is dragging me. Also, right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of our reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so happy for your support. Also, if you just want to do a one time donation, our super thanks button is right over there, and all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. I have two shout outs. I want to shout out Lorna Williams, who is such a great supporter of this channel. Lorna be in the comments just dropping all kinds of knowledge. I love it. I love it. And I am just so grateful for her. And thank you, Lorna. Thank you for the super thanks. And also, I want to thank 08065. 08065. Thank you for your support. Thank you for seeing something in my channel that you want to support. And I am so appreciative of that support. All right, with all that said, let's get to the read, y'all, because of course we have a lot. I've been in these internet streets, and I'm telling you, it is a lot out there if you dig for it. I'm telling you. So when I was putting the read together today, of course, I was all up and down and all around these internet streets. I was peeping in windows and trying to listen to find out what the squatties are talking about. I was over to Blue Sky. Blue Sky is pretty much talking about this New York Post article that the headline was very misleading. They made a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, and a whole lot of people was talking about how Harry and Meghan was getting divorced. It was just something they throwed out there, and we all know people don't go past the headlines. And of course, it was a lot of haters came in trying to be happy and celebrate a divorce between Harry and Meghan that's not even happening. And this whole thing about a professional separation, what is that? That is a husband and wife living a normal life. I don't know too many husbands and wives work together consistently. One has a job in one field and the other one has a job in another field because they have different interests. But they want to write about Harry and Meghan separating so bad that they actually made up a new term, professional separation. Who ever heard of that? That is ridiculous. But that's what the squatties over to Blue Sky are talking about. I went over to TikTok. I didn't stay very long. And pretty much they are still dragging Camilla over there. I'm telling you, I saw several posts of them continuing to drag her. And it's not like she don't deserve it. I'm just saying. And then I went to Instagram, and Instagram was busy being Instagram, all over the place, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of topics, but all of them dragging every member of that royal family over there. And like I said, none of it is undeserved. And then, of course, I landed in my home away from home, which would be X, formerly known as Twitter. And the squatties are pretty much talking about that New York Post uh, article and that nonsense. And they still dragging Camilla. They're talking about the problems between Camilla and Kate. You know what we talked about yesterday. And they also talking about something that's going on between Charles and William. I have an article about it. But these are things that we have discussed on this podcast weeks in advantage. In advance, because we be digging, and we be talking about all kinds of stuff. And usually, most of the time, with me putting my ear to the ground, I be knowing what's coming. I do. And we already have talked about it. But we're going to talk about some of the stuff that I found on X, some of these articles that I have been reading. I found some interesting ones. And so let's get to the read, y'all. First, I want to put up this. And this is something that people are posting because of that New York Post article talking about Harry and Meghan separating, and they're talking about professional separation. They won't, I have never saw people root for a divorce before in my life. They never wanted Harry and Meghan to marry, and they have never wanted Harry and Meghan to be happy together, and they always have rooted for divorce. And evidently they were just a lot of haters was waiting for this article to come out or some kind of indication that they had gotten a divorce. But they tend to want to focus in with a laser about Harry and Meghan and ignore the obvious, the couple that is actually struggling and the couple that is actually having the problems in the royal family. So I'm gonna put this up, and this particular squatty said this: Prince William and Kate Middleton are the definition of professional separation. Prince William and Kate Middleton doctoring photo scandal, looting the British taxpayer money, fake cancer, and William and Kate's separate lives, deteriorating marriage in front of the world's eyes. Where is the lie? We If you pay attention, you can tell which couple is happy and which couple is absolutely falling completely apart. Look how Kate and William look. Look how Harry and Meghan look. We all see it, but they want to try to gaslight us into believing that don't look at the one who is actually out here struggling. Focus on the one who is thriving, and we're gonna gaslight you into believing that they are the ones that are failing. They need to stop it. I'm just saying. I'm gonna put this up. And this particular squatter said this: they want Prince Harry and Meghan to divorce and don't want to talk about William and Kate's fake cancer to hide their separate lives. Just what I just got through saying. We see, we see, and y'all know what I did in my podcast yesterday. And if you hadn't saw that podcast, go back and watch it because I did a segment about the Sussex Squad. This is what we do. We call out the nonsense. Can you imagine if that New York Post article had went unchallenged by the Sussex Squad? Then everybody would be thinking that. But I'm telling you, the Sussex Squad jumped into action. Even here on Twitter, they did a correction saying that it was an untrue article, it was false. And I think they made it. I think everywhere I saw it, I think I saw it online, and online they made a correction. Who you think did that? The Sussex Squad. The Sussex Squad. Harry and Meghan supporters will not let it stand. Continue to push back on the nonsense. But yes, they want to gaslight us into believing that the ones that are struggling are the ones in Montecito and not the ones over there in Windsor. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this says, could this be Lady Macbeth's Kate is not invited to the state banquet next week? These two evil women are sides of the same coin. Where is the lie? That is why Camilla and Kate cannot get along, and neither one of them really have close friends. The only close friends that I know that Corella has is that Petronella Wyatt woman, and she is a horizontal mambo type dancer herself. Because we all know her scandalous behavior with Boris Johnson. But that's the only one that I know of, and the rest of them are professional relationships, like in the press and whatnot, like that. And I think she has her sister. Kate is the same way. All Kate has is her own family and her sister. And I never see them out. I mean, you never see them pictured out having lunch or doing anything. You don't see none of that. And in actuality, Kate might not be that close to Pippa. Cause Pippa done found her a man with some money and she gone. Because they were saying Kate had cancer and all this, and Pippa was on the beach with her husband, frolicking with one of her butt cheeks hanging out. She didn't act like anything big was going on, but we all know wasn't nothing big going on. I'm just saying. They're both shameless social climbers whose sole achievement in life is stalking a man into marriage. They deserve each other. Where is the lie? What kind of achievements did Camilla, Charles's horse, have before she became Charles's horse? She had none. She never worked. I think I found that article, and it was in an earlier podcast, that she had a job once and she got fired from it because she came in there drunk and late after a long weekend, and they fired her. And she has been a kept woman ever since. And look at Kate. The only thing Kate did was chase William and pretend like she was working for her own parents, because we all know that wasn't happening, because her and Carol Middleton wasn't doing nothing but strategizing how to bag William, which wasn't very hard because he is dumb as a rock. But they all, and I know this is me digressing a little bit, but it always makes me mad when they always try to play up William, pretending like he is smart. And everything we see out of him, he is not. He is not very smart. And they always try to make Harry out as the dumb one. And Harry has a string of accolades as long as William's arm. But yet and still, they want to make him out the smart one. But look at the evidence. This is gaslighting 101. Look at the evidence. Harry has a smart, beautiful, intelligent wife that's an asset, that helps to support him and encourages him to always be leveling up. And what does William have? A woman who can't, I mean, she be wrestling, trying to tie together three sentences, and it's embarrassing. He is embarrassed of her, but he chose her. He chose her. So that's all I can say to that. But it says why Queen Camilla and Kate have a tense relationship. You know, remember that's what my podcast was about yesterday. Their tense relationship. But these two women, like this particular Squatty said in this post, are they are two evil women, or two sides to the same coin. Because Kate and Camilla are not girls. They're not. How can you have friends? How can you build relationship when you all you about is trying to tear down someone else? And they are that type of women. Mm. All right, let's go on. And when I was talking about Kate, it's because I had saw this particular post, and it was referring to an article. And like I said, I tripped over the dog trying to get to the article. And it says lots of speculations about why Kate will miss the state banquet. One source claims it's Will's decision. He just thinks he's better on his own. Kate has had over a decade to work on her social skills, and she isn't improving. It's embarrassing at this point. And we also saw his behavior, and I'm going to put the picture up here of her talking while they were in Southport, the last event that they did together, and she got to say a word or two. And he is looking out in the distance as he does, as he always does. Y'all remember that engagement video that Byron plays all the time with? with her talking and saying, "Abba, dabba, dabba, yeah." And that's what it sounds like to me. And his face is as if he could go into that couch. And that face that he had when they had that engagement interview and they asked Kate about Diana, and she served up that word salad. She served up that word salad, and he looked over there at her. He could have went through the couch. And that Kate is still the Kate that's serving up the word salad in Southport. And he is sick of it. She is not doing anything. She is not Meghan. Harry went and got a woman better than his. And ever since then, William has had a problem with Kate. I don't think he much had a problem with Kate before then, but when Harry showed up with Meghan, an articulate, beautiful, smart, capable woman, and he looked over to the left, or maybe she was on the right, and he said, "This woman cannot tie together three sentences, maybe two. She cannot do it," and he has a problem with her. And I'm just saying. So I found this article and I'm gonna put it up here. And it said Kate Middleton set to step back from public life again. When has she stepped back into it? Cause she just hit and miss here every now and then. I don't know. I don't know. But this is what it says. Kensington Palace announced the disappointing news regarding Princess of Wales Kate Middleton shortly after Buckingham Palace delighted her fans with information about her next public appearance. Buckingham Palace has delighted the public with news of an upcoming public appearance by the Prince and Princess of Wales, who will welcome Qatar Sheikh Jarrah, I don't know how to pronounce his name, y'all, during his official visit to the UK on Tuesday morning. However, despite the importance of this big event, there was an unexpected and disappointing news for all the princess's fans. Who is those fans? I'm just asking, where they at? Because all I know is Harry and Meghan haters that masquerade as fans. I would love to meet one of her fans. I had never saw one. I done saw a lot of, like I said, I done saw a lot of Harry and Meghan haters, but I ain't saw no fans. I'm just saying. But I digress. Let's go on. It says the news of the princess's absence from the event caused a lot of speculation among royal watchers. Royal expert Cameron Walker, via the social media X, wrote that Kensington Palace had not planned the presence of the princess at the prestigious event. So they never planned for her. What y'all think about that? I don't know what to think right now, because my whole thing is, why would you not plan for her? She announced way back that she was cancer free and she was going to start to work again. Why would they not plan for her to be a part of this? I'm just saying. It seemed very strange to me. It seems very sus to me. That's all I can say. It says this was also confirmed by Kate Manzi, who is a royal expert. The Princess of Wales will not attend the state banquet at Buckingham Palace after all. For many, Princess Kate's absence from the important event was extremely surprising, to say the least. To say the least. Is that especially after her return to public life after recovering from serious treatment. Okay. However, the princess is once again absent from an important event, which causes a lot of speculation and concern about the possible reasons for this decision. Fan speculation that this absence may be related to her personal reasons or health problems. Well, we know she ain't really got no health problems, so it's personal reasons. It is something going on. And I'm telling you, I have tried my best to try to figure it out. But all I know, it is something huge. I've been in the comments and y'all got some great theories, I must say. Whew. But it will come out. It will come out. We just have to wait for it, but it will come out. That's all I'm saying. Also, y'all, I found this article here, and it is by Kaiser from Celebrity. And Kaiser, you know how she does. She write an article about an article, and she is writing about this Us Weekly article about William and Charles and what's going on with them. And I found it so interesting. And I'm going to put it up. And it says rivalry and royal duty inside the power struggle between Charles and William. And this is something we have been talking about on this podcast for the longest. It was right there for everybody to see. We saw it. We saw it. We start talking about it when we heard about it in that Tom Sykes article. We started talking about it then. And then it just grew and grew and grew. They have been at odds for a long time. Ever since the Queen was lowered down in that vault, William has been acting out. He has. And this article says this. It says, and like I said, Kaiser from Celebrity wrote this, and it is great. She always does a great job. And it says, this is a U.S. Weekly new cover story. Inside the power struggle between Charles and William. Finally, more of a focus on how dysfunctional this relationship is between the king and his heir. Like I said, we've been talking about this. This is nothing for us. U.S. Weekly is just catching up to what the Sussex Squad has been talking about. And it says, I tend to believe that Charles and William only agree on one thing. Neither of them wants Prince Harry around, and they both know how badly the Sussex damaged the monarchy long term. Yes, they do. It did. It spawned people like me, because people who never even gave a rat's patootie about the monarchy, and who would tend to um, tune in periodically, like if they had a wedding or they had a baby or something like that. I was tune in and say, "Oh, isn't that nice? They seem like nice people," and blah blah blah, and that would be it. And then Megan came along, and I was all in, looking and seeing, and just really, really enjoying seeing her and Harry's love story just unfold. And then when we really got a look at what was behind the curtain, and that we had to get in there and defend this couple and to push back on all the nonsense and the attacks that was coming from inside the house, that is when it damaged. They can try to blame that on Harry, but no, 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 no. It is their fault. It is William's fault, and it is Charles' fault. And they can never, ever try to put that on Harry, because it was their behavior. Their behavior. Sending them flying monkeys down to Mexico to try to stop and destroy his relationship and his marriage. That is what happened. And they have damaged the monarchy. And Charles, he started a long time ago damaging the monarchy when he decided to do what he did to Diana. I'm going to put it like that. To do what he did to Diana. That damaged it. And then turn around and use Diana's baby. When Harry finally found someone he loved and tried to be happy, then you go all in, 10 toes down on trying to destroy him and his wife. You did that. You did that. Like I said, without their behavior, it would be no Sussex Squad. It would be just royal fans, fans of Meghan, fans of Harry. That's all we would be. But they created the Sussex Squad. And like I said, They want to blame Harry for their behavior. But isn't that the way that firm has shaped these two men to never take responsibility for anything and always project your negativity onto someone else? I'm just saying. But let's go on. And it says, and both know how badly the success damage the monarchy long term. But beyond that, Charles and William are at each other's throat constantly. Charles and Camilla regularly outmaneuvers William, and William absolutely refuses to get off of his lazy arse and step up into the kind of air work which Charles did for decades. And that is so true. Now, that is true. William is lazy. He is absolutely lazy. And he is definitely, now, Charles had his problem. But one thing about it, Charles created something for himself, that Princess Trust. He had to scheme and connive and get dirty money from rogue countries and rogue people to keep it functioning, but he did that. William has nothing. And Charles has a problem about it. And I knew something was wrong. I'm gonna tell y'all when I knew something was wrong. It's when Charles announced that he had performative cancer. And William put out a statement and let them know that just because Charles had cancer, he was not going to pick up Charles's slack. Y'all remember that? He said he was going to focus on his family and what was going on with his family. He could care less. He did not step up when his wife and his father got their performative cancer. William didn't step up. He actually disappeared on his own. He took that as an opportunity to not do anything. And he said that that's what he was not going to do anything. He was going to focus on his family. But I wonder if he did that because Charlotte didn't know. I mean, he had an opportunity to grow a beard between the times he had saw Charlotte. And he admitted that himself, that she burst into a flood of tears when she saw the beard. Well, we all know it takes a while to grow a beard. So you hadn't saw that child. When he was in Cape Town this month, Prince William gave several interviews about how he'll do everything differently when he's king. And those interviews did not go over well anywhere. There also been a lot of talk about the real state of Charles' health and how quickly William might find himself on the throne. All of that is part of US Weekly's cover stories, some highlights. Okay, we're going to talk about what is said in the article. And it says dynamics between Charles and William have shifted. It says William 42 has done an admirable job of keeping calm and carrying on, and Charles 76 is especially grateful. In many ways, the king and his heir are closer than ever, but their relationship has become significantly more complicated as tensions over William's approach succession builds. The dynamics have shifted. One source shared in the latest issue of the US Weekly, Charles has wanted to be the monarch for decades, added his second source. Even though he's battling cancer, he's not letting that get in the way of his desire to be successful on the throne and a dynamic leader. Whew, I don't see it. Okay. William, meanwhile, is preparing behind the scenes for when ascension happens. Continues the second source. Like his father, he takes being success in the royal role very seriously. Then they say there are already plans for Charles's funeral. The palace sprung into action after Charles' cancer diagnosis, the source said. And we heard this in that Tom Sykes article too, noting there are already plans for Charles' funeral. But we already knew that. We Tom Sykes said this in an article. Whew, what, a month ago? We talked about it. It said the palace sprung into action after Charles's cancer diagnosis. The source says, noting that advisors' plans for William has been discussed with the future king. William and his team has agreed on what they will focus on at the start of his reign and funeral plans for his father. The third source agreed there is some tiptoeing around the plans for succession directly with Charles. He does not feel comfortable speaking about it at length, so nothing more than is needed is brought up to him, says the source. Well, I understand why y'all don't want to talk about it, because they talking about putting him on the train to glory. Yeah, I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know. But it's just so funny to me that Charles has snaked and snaked and snaked. And now his biggest part of his day, or his biggest part of his kingdomship, is talking about him punching a ticket on and getting on the train to glory. I'm just saying. It says small R royalty. According to the third source, William is ready to bring a new, younger energy to the crown. Where you gonna get it from? Where? William is such a snob, a boring snob. I'm just saying. And it said, added the first source, modern times call for a modern monarchy. And William has been active in getting that together. He's taken on a few patrogens, but focused more on issues most important to him and Kate, like the environment. Yeah, that's why he fly in a helicopter all the time. He really concerned about the environment. Stop it. And it says the environment, mental health, and homelessness. The king had a traditional approach to patronage, accumulating over 500. Wow, over 500 of them. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliam tells us, in contrast, William is determined, as he sees it, to make real difference and to do this in a way that will give him contemporary appeal. Basically, what he's saying is he wants to copy off of Harry. He wants to copy off of Harry. He don't want to do it like Charles and the Queen did. But what he don't seem to understand is Harry is not the monarch. He cannot be like Harry, and he think that is the key, to be like Harry. That's how he's going to modernize the monarchy. Good luck with that, William. Good luck. That's all I can say. And it says jealousy. Let's get to the part where it's talking about jealousy. It said the second source also claims that some jealousy between Charles and William over the younger royal's popularity. Where is that popularity that William got? Because he get booed everywhere he go, and he cannot draw flies. Now Charles is jealous. If he jealous over Harry and Meghan, he had a reason to be jealous. But William and Kate, okay. But anyway, it said current Prince of Wales is often compared to his mother. What is these people smoking? The late Princess Diana, who was famously called the People Princess. When William is publicly hailed for his accomplishment, his beloved mom usually gets the credit now, and it's deserved. Now, I don't know what Charles is thinking, but do he not see what he has done? And it's been on full display this week with that documentary about Camilla. Does he not understand that people see that he is, everything good that's in those boys had nothing to do with him? And ain't much good in William. But what good is in him had nothing to do with Charles. I'm just saying. And it says it says the source says that while Charles and William are close, they are rivals when it comes to work. noting that Charles' envy is similar to how he felt about Diana. Charles is a sick, sick, sick man. To have that much jealousy towards your children. And I talked about this last night on my last podcast. That is not a maternal or paternal instinct. You, as a parent, you should want your child to do better, to be better. You want that. But Charles actually don't want that. He wants to be better than his children. How sad. How bad. I mean, how completely just, I mean, he is totally and absolutely a trash father. I'm just saying. And it said, while the first source insists Charles doesn't feel sidelined and is more proud than anything, the monarch does feel public anticipation for William's future role. Well, that's so deserving of him. I'm telling you, I just love that for Charles. Because Charles did everything he could to get him and Camilla on that throne. And I love the Queen. I love the Queen. She lived so long that she absolutely just robbed him of every bit of that. They had to pry that crown, that throne out of her dead cold hands. And I love that for Charles. And I love it for Camilla. They both deserve both of it. And now they have not been able to enjoy not 1 minute of being at the top of the food chain. That's why karma sometimes is so beautiful. And it says separate course. William is very stubborn and private and very angry. They didn't put that part in there, but he's very angry. And he said he keeps his movements and his calendar away from Charles' team, such to an extent that he won't listen to anyone or take guidance from his father or his team, says the second source. He keeps things very locked down and separate. Fitzwilliam noted that Charles had hoped William would take on some of these prized patronages, but William is intent on being his own man. He don't want to have nothing to do with Charles. Well, we all saw William growing up and his relationship with Charles. And every time I saw him with Charles, he was hitting Charles, hitting him on the back of the head, hitting him, punching him in the leg when he was a little boy. When he was a little boy, he ain't never had anything for Charles except smoke. Now, Harry was the loving one. Harry was the caring one. Harry was the one who inherited the heart. And he did everything he could to destroy his baby son. He did everything he could do because Harry was so much like Diana. And he hated him for that. I'm just saying. It said Queen Camilla wants Charles to hang on as long as possible. The first source says that she wants her husband to hold on the reins as long as possible. She loves her responsibilities, said the source, her whole life. She has always wanted to be queen. Y'all remember when they had that lie out saying that Camilla didn't want to be queen or anything like that? She was going to be the, what is it, the princess consort or something like that. When Charles ascends to the throne, she was not going to be queen. All she wanted to do, it was she loved Charles and she wanted to support him in any way she could. That was a lie. She always wanted to be queen. She is right where she always wanted. And that is the reason why karma keeps kissing her in the mouth and will not allow her to enjoy it because she snaked her way all the way to the top. When she went snaking her way to the top, she was doing the horizontal mambo all the way to the top. So there it is. It always comes out. She always wanted to be queen. And it says, And it says, so she doesn't want to let go so fast. The source noted that Camilla is particularly hesitant to pass on her duties to Kate. They've always had a tense relationship. All of it's coming out now. They don't even like each other. And I think during, and y'all correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but during the coronation, when it was time to curtsy, Kate did not curtsy to Camilla. She did not. And we all know Anne did. Who does curtsy to her? I'm just asking. But yeah, so it all comes out. And can you imagine poor little Meghan in that snake's pit? I mean, getting bit, all, I mean, it is a snake pit. It is a viper's den. It is a scorpion nest. It's all three put together. Who in the world could ever survive in that? Especially if you're a kind, considering, loving person. I'm just saying. It says raw promotions and demotions. It says there have also been whispers that William may promote Prince Edward and his wife Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. The couple has become more visible since Charles' health issues began. Hartman says Camilla would likely carry on with public role, but obviously within a different capacity. I don't believe that. And I said this in my last podcast. I think Camilla is going to be out, completely out, unless it's some kind of arrangement made that she continues in some capacity. And if Charles can broker that for her, that's the only way. Cause William don't like her like that. He don't F with her like that. Ever since what she did to his mother. Now, one thing about William, I believe this, is that he probably loved his mother as much as he has the capacity to love. I'm just saying, because he did get on national TV and call her paranoid and stuff like that. So it kind of throws it in doubt, doesn't it? But he made it perfectly clear in that Tom Sykes article, and it was an exclusive, meaning that it came from him, that he don't F with Camilla like that. And that he only goes along to get along. And when he becomes king, it will not be that way. So I'm thinking he gonna pack her bags and put her on the side of the street. I'm just saying. As for Prince Harry, 40, who's along with his wife Meghan Markle, 43, has been estranged with William and Charles since early 2020, a source said that while there are mutual desires for a reconciliation between him and Charles, William is less inclined to bring Harry back into the royal fold. And Harry is less inclined to giving a and they know that. Harry has made himself perfectly clear on that he has no desire to be any part of that place over there. He said he did not want a firm, he wanted a family. And we all know that they don't have the capacity to be a family. Their only capacity is to be a firm. William is totally a firm man now. And the reason he don't want Harry back into the fold is because Harry outshines him. And his ego cannot handle it. He is more like his father than he likes to admit. I'm just saying. The change will happen soon. For the most part, Charles is doing well, added the source, but there are still some concerns. And he knows his reign will be up soon. William is essentially waiting in the wings. William and Kate has been preparing for this for many years, saying that the third source, with the first source noting that Kate is realistic and supportive of William's future, added that the third source, They both feel comfortable stepping into greater roles and are confident William can provide a modern way of ruling that everyone will see as a breath of fresh air. Every time I read something like that, I don't know what to believe. Y'all know I never ever believed that Kitty Cat had cancer. But Charles, I always could kind of go back and forth with it a little bit. I always had some doubt. And then when I read something like that, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I don't know. And it says, interesting that someone finally admits that there's tension between Camilla and Kate. The tension is Camilla can dog walk Kate at any moment, and Kate knows that. That's why Kate has seemingly been banned from wearing tiaras. That's why Kate is seemingly being phased out, though I think it is more to do with William and Charles. This is what Kaiser is saying from Celebrity. She thinks the reason Kate is being phased out is because of William and Charles. And once William become king, we may hardly see Kate. Kate might be a rarity. I'm just saying. And it says, but I also think William wants everyone to believe that he'll be king within the next year. William only wants power to lord over his brother, though William is absolutely too stupid and lazy to understand any part of how his life will dramatically change. Where is the lie? He wants that power to lord over Harry, but Harry is gone. How he's going to lord over somebody who's 5,000 miles away and who don't want to have anything to do with that place. And two, he is really stupid. They have tried to paint him into being this intelligent, sensitive, yes, introspective human being, and we see something the total opposite of that. He's very stupid, he's very short-sighted, and he's very, very angry. I'm just saying. And we all know he's lazy. My goodness. That was a good article. All right, y'all, let's go on. And I'm going to put this up. And this says, I love how Meghan upgraded this man. Making an honest living suits him. We love to see it. And that is so true. They're talking about him being at that summit, at the Deal Book Summit. And Meghan rescued Harry. She saved him. I love it when they were in the Oprah interview and they said that they saved each other. Well, Meghan had a beautiful life. Meghan had a life that she loved. So she gave it up to be with Harry. So really, did Harry rescue her? But we all know that Meghan rescued Harry. She gave him that support. She stood with him on the battlefield. And I'm telling you, that was tough because their life has been a battlefield. But she stood there and she upgraded him. And nobody can say that Meghan did not upgrade him. If he had a married Chelsea Davy, Harry would not be the man that he is today. He is the man he is today because the support and love of a great woman, which is Meghan. And it says Prince Harry left the royal family because he always wanted to leave. Exactly. They always want to blame Meghan, saying he wanted to leave, that she encouraged him to leave, or he left because of her. He did not. Harry always wanted to leave that place. Even in I think it was in the Harry and Meghan documentary, Harry said he never felt like he belonged there. He said they just told him to go ahead on and play the game. He said he never felt like he belonged within that family. And with the love and support of Meghan, he was able to walk out of there. And look at him. And it says Meghan gave up her career to be with the man she loved and is paying a high price. And is she not paying a high price? All they do is try to vilify her at every turn. And Meghan don't serve anything back up but love and caring. She's a better woman than me. I have said that on many occasions because she is. Because I would have given them something to write about by now. I'm just saying. It says Meghan doesn't get enough credit for helping them build the life that they now have. Harry said that he had to up his game. She is the one who called Tyler, who probably got them into the Montecito house, who encouraged him every step of the way. These naysayers have no idea. I love that. Absolutely. She is the one. People forget that. They never would have made it if it hadn't been for Meghan. Because Tyler gave that number, and Meghan is the one that called Tyler and asked for help. And that is how they got out of their situation. I love this post. I do. I do. And I'm going to put this up. And it says, from their beautiful engagement to their wedding day and creating their gorgeous babies, their love continues to shine through. They grow stronger each day as a couple. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Love wins. And a lot of posts like this are on my timeline because of that article that was written in the New York Post. If you really want to see the face of professional separation, go over there with William and Kate. There's plenty of that there. They love each other enough to support each other in their different interests. I'm just saying. It says this is one of the best engagements interviews ever. And this is when everyone fell in love with Meghan because she was just so natural, warm, funny, and it was a huge hit. This is why Macbeths were furious. This wedding was never meant to happen if they had their way. Exactly, because this whole engagement thing just came off flawlessly. Harry and Meghan's engagement came off flawlessly. The announcement, then her hitting the ground, going to the different places within the country, getting to know the people, and the people fell in love with her and they were mad. Y'all know, I don't, it's been several podcasts back that we talked about this. You know, Robert Jobson wrote his book, he admitted to the fact that William and Kate was so jealous of Harry and Meghan. They were so jealous the way the people opened their arms and loved on them. When Meghan was so accepted, they were absolutely so jealous and they set out to destroy them. Little did we know on that glorious day, that glorious wedding, it was so much evilness working behind the scenes. Little did we know when they sat on that couch and talked about their upcoming wedding, how much evilness and treachery was going on behind the scene, even more so than they knew at the time. It was more going on that Harry and Meghan knew themselves, trying to sabotage everything when it came to their wedding. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up. And this is an article that they got in the mail trying somehow Camilla's cronies, Camilla's flying monkeys, Camilla's puppets are trying to somehow trying to salvage the shreds of her reputation since that documentary came out on Channel 4 about her being the wicked stepmother. And it says this, Mail, Queen Camilla never leaked the Meghan made Kate cry story. We already knew that. We know who leaked that story. That was straight from the Middletons or Kate or William, Kensington Palace. That definitely was not Camilla, but she leaked a whole lot of stuff. She did. But that particular one, she did not. And here's the article, and it says, Mail, Queen Camilla never leaked the Meghan made Kate cry story. And like I said, we knew that already. We know exactly where that came from. But they trying to savage something. Try to make Camilla not look like the venomous old hag that she is. I'm just saying. It said over the weekend, a documentary, Queen Camilla, the Wicked Stepmother, aired in the UK. I have no idea if it was billed as any kind of through a exploration of Camilla's decade of manipulation and melodrama, but it apparently didn't deliver much beyond some lukewarm tea and a history lesson. The part which most people focus on were the very credible claims that Charles, then PR guru Mark Bolan, who was handpicked by Camilla, regularly fed Prince Harry and William to the tabloids as a way to make Charles and Camilla look better by comparison. Did the documentary also explore Camilla's longtime friendship within the media, including her dear friend Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson? I don't know. Well, all of this is now part of a weird new piece at A.N. Wilson at the Daily Mail. Wilson was tasked with defending Camilla's horsey honor, and William argued that Camilla never ever was part of a briefing campaign against the Duchess of Sussex. Some highlights. It says Camilla doesn't deserve this documentary. How Channel 4 and the new documentary Queen Camilla, the Wicked Stepmother, a title that surely would not have existed without the Duke of Sussex's paranoid accusations. And see, they never ever blame themselves. They never take the time to look inward for answers. It's always someone else, not them. And like this, Camilla know what she did. But yet and still she will not accept responsibility for her treatment and all the things that she did to snake her way to the top. She is not going to do that. She's going to try to make Harry paranoid accusations. That's what they did. Isn't that what they call Diana? Paranoid. That's what they call people who are telling the truth. The program presented itself as fair, and the talking head journalists in it were, on the whole, either on Camilla's side or at the very least anxious to point out that there was not a scintilla of evidence to substantiate the view that she had been briefing the press against, I guess, Harry's wife, said his wife. Much was made of a pre-wedding squabble between the two sisters-in-law, Kate and Meghan, which supposedly ended with Meghan in tears. And see, they have started to accept that too. We all know the originally was told that Meghan made Kate cry. But once after the Oprah interview, what is the accepted view now? That Kate made Meghan cry. And they know that's the truth. And if Meghan never And if Meghan never had did the Oprah interview, it would have stood as Meghan made Kate cry. And like I said, we all knew that Camilla did not leak this one. We know that it probably came from the Middletons or Kensington Palace. But that doesn't mean that Camilla hadn't leaked a whole lot of stuff on Meghan. And she has fed all of them to the wolves except Charles. She has done everything she can do in order for her and Charles to ascend to the throne, because we just heard this is something she always wanted to do, and she has always been working towards that, including when Diana was alive. The snake was snaking way back then. I'm just saying. And it says, and then it goes into that and says, there were plenty of people who would either witness the row between the two women or who could have listened at the door. It wasn't a row between the two women. we heard and saw, well, Harry explained it in Spare. It mostly was them, Meghan telling her if Charlotte was not happy with her dress, that is why they had a tailor on hand to fix it. But Kate was the one wanting the dresses totally and absolutely remade at someone else's wedding. Not her wedding, someone else's wedding. And she was not being accommodating at all because the fix was in. Her and William was doing everything they could to stop this wedding and to throw a monkey wrench into the plans. So that it was not, I don't bit more believe that about Charlotte crying about that dress and I do anything. That was an attempt to throw a monkey wrench to make everything as difficult as they possibly could about that wedding because they did not want it to happen because they could foresee what was coming down the pike. Meghan and Harry was going to be Meghan and Harry was going to be extremely popular, and they didn't want to have anything to do with it. They were jealous. I'm just saying. It said Camilla would never have leaked that particular story. Okay, so you pick one story that she did not leak, but we all know it's plenty other stories that Camilla has leaked. But I guess maybe Camilla might be putting out there that she know who leaked it and leave her alone because she might absolutely spill some more beans. Because I believe Camilla know a lot of stuff. And they talking about Camilla is so hardworking. And then it says William thought on Diana. Diana was a wonderful person, but she was, as she said herself, the Queen of Hearts, a one-off superstar, and not a natural royal consort. Up in here talking nonsense about Diana. They need to stop. And it said Camilla rebuilt Charles' self-confidence. When Prince Charles' marriage to Diana was breaking up, she broke it up. What is this man talking about? Camilla was described as the most hated woman in Britain. 25 years have passed since then, and even the most fervent Diana fan can now see that she has helped rebuild not only Charles' self-confidence, but also it's Harry, not her, who today is the despised outcast, whatever Channel 4 may wish us to believe. Well, they wish you to believe what the truth is. And who made Harry despised? It wasn't Harry. It was Camilla and Charles and William. That's who did that. It says Camilla was one part of a widespread attack on Meghan. And Hansen said, how dare you suggest that Camilla briefed the press about Kate making Meghan cry and reversing the victim to the aggressor. Stafford did that. Did y'all hear what he said? That right there came straight from Camilla. Let's read it again. It said, how dare you suggest that Camilla briefed the press about Kate making Meghan cry and reversing the victim and the aggressor? Staff did that. They are admitting that Kate made Meghan cry. What Meghan said was true, and Meghan was the victim and Kate was the aggressor. And he said, how dare you? How dare you suggest that Camilla briefed the press about Kate making Meghan cry and reversing the victim and the aggressor? Staff did that. So yeah, this is a really weird defense of Camilla. Personally, I don't believe that Camilla was part of the whole Meghan made Kate cry storyline. Camilla wasn't there, and it was always been pretty clear that this was a special lie created by Kate and the Middletons. I said that. and the Middletons, who was running their own little comms office out of the Middletons mansion. But beyond that, Camilla absolutely was part of the widespread press attack on both Harry and Meghan. It has been one of her special projects of the year to drive a wedge between Harry and William. And when Harry and Meghan got together, she obviously stoked William and Kate jealousy and paranoia. Camilla got everything she wanted. She is, I'm telling, she is a Machiavellian villain. She is on a whole nother level, this woman is. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up, and it says that Camilla Doc also confirmed again how gutter trash the UK press are. Knowing Prince Harry was sacrificed to improve the image of Camilla and Charles, the British media added insult to injury by taunting Harry about not wearing the coronation medal with these two faces on it. Callous. Y'all remember that? All right, y'all, I'm going to put up this, the clowns. Charles is such a clown, and every day it just proves how much of a clown he is, forever involving himself with that woman that he calls his horse. What destruction she has brought on that family. What destruction she has brought in the lives of his young children. To this day, Harry is still trying to recoup from the damage that this woman has done by him losing his mother. I'm just saying. And then put this up. There's William. And he is on full display the damage that has been done. William is going to be a complete and utter disaster. And also, I'm going to put this up because we all know at the end of the day, it's all about Harry and Meghan for us. If they mess with Harry and Meghan, the Sussex squad will eat their face off. I'm just saying. Bye, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving.